Yo! Perfidious Pete here, riding crop in hand and 6-inch stilettos strapped to my feet as I get ready to spank the spavin sumps of Perfidious Manor into submission in Darkest Dungeon. So yeah, first layer of the dungeon, we abused that baby like it was dressed in a gimp suit and paying us for the privilege. I don't necessarily want to say we went to work on it with a pair of pliers and a blowtorch, but my crew definitely worked it over like a team of hard pipe-hitting seekers. And it felt pretty good. It really did. I'm not ashamed to admit I'm proud of the way we prosecuted that dungeon, but I'm also not ashamed to admit that that means this upcoming mission has me effectively sitting in my chair in bowel-loosening terror. Because the one thing we know about Darkest Dungeon is that the darkest dungeon giveth and the darkest dungeon taketh away. And it usually taketh away immediately after it giveth. Which means that one of the seekers that we're about to send on this mission is probably more doomed than a hot blonde in heels enjoying a post-coitus cigarette alone at night outside at Camp Crystal on Camp Crystal Lake rather, on Friday the 13th. It's just, she's doomed. Jason's gonna come in and cut her head off, and then probably you'll see her boobs as her headless corpse spins to the ground, but that's what's gonna happen, Padme. I'm sorry. So we may as well grab a team then, I guess, see exactly who's gonna get their guts splattered across the inside of a dungeon like Jax's Pollock having a seizure. We should also try and find a mission that won't suck. We really could use some more trinkets for our... I would love to take Caitlin Stark in on one of our next mission, but unfortunately we don't have any plus blight trinkets. That's kind of what I'm on the farm for, like, for instance, this blasphemous vial, which I sort of feel like now we absolutely must go and get. It's a long mission, explore 90% of rooms, but do we have a team that can pull this off? You know, yeah, we do. And not only do we have a team that can pull this off, we have a team that could really use the EXP. If we take Jack Dawson, probably Maud Flanders, Nick Bradshaw, and then we just got to get one other person. I'm leaning towards Elizabeth March here. She's got level... How are your skills, March? All level 4s. You don't have Iron Swan. Okay, so we just, you know, we need a moderate adjustment, and we also made an absolute windfall of cash in the Darkest Dungeon, so we can do this. Let's start doing some upgrades here. Elizabeth, okay, your weapons are good. We actually want to take you to the guild, right? So what do we want to get? You have every skill at level... Well, shit, you don't even need... Man, homegirl here comes prepared, and I apologize for the noise that you're hearing in the background. That's actually an alarm reminding me that I need to go to the store and buy granola bars. Because that's how I roll, baby. That's how I roll. Yeah, Perfidious Pete, he has alerts on his phone that remind him when it's time to buy granola because, you know what? I'm an unabashed granola fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love granola. I'm telling you, you want the best granola bar money for your value? Perfidious Pete will drop some sweet knowledge on you. You go and you get you some Quaker Oats brand Big Chewies. Not the regular Chewies. Those are a sucker's gambit. The Big Chewy. That's what you want. Peanut butter chocolate chip Big Chewy. You'll be glad you did. You can thank me later. So Bradshaw, you're good. Maud Flanders, you're good. Dawson, also good. Is that thing ever going to go off, or is it just going to continue to ring forever? Probably you can't hear it. My audio filters might be picking it out. Let's actually hope that's true. But if you do hear the jingle jangling of an alarm in the background, be aware. It's just my granola reminder. Seems like maybe it stopped. Nope, still going. All right, then. Well, let's just get on the mission. So, Bradshaw, you're equipped not properly. All right, we got to remove all of our trinkets then, and we're going to need to resort these bad boys. So, we're going to equip you with the Brawler's Gloves, and we're going to give you the Quick Draw Charm. Put you in the front rank and let you go murder. Matthew Crawley, how do we want to handle you? No, you're not even going on the mission. Never mind. Dawson, you need to be here then. Let's get you some trinkets. Okay, you know what? Seriously, that thing... Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. Cutting out in the middle of the episode. I'll be right back. Everybody just chill for like 2 minutes. Super professional, Pete. Nicely done. Way to be. All right, we're back. What the sacrifices a man makes for granola bars, I tell you, it's just... You know what? I don't regret it. So, back to the mission then. I'm actually tilted off the face of the universe now. We're going to the Warrens, right? Which means we're going to fight mostly Eldritch, but also Beasts. I'm trying to figure out what kind of trinkets we want to go with, and I'm on full tilt here because damn phone alarm. I love granola. What can I say? Bonus dodge? No. Why don't we just give you bonus... Yeah, you know, we could give you 25% extra bonus damage and to just counter that with the Book of Sanity. I don't really hate that idea. Is there another way for us to give you bonus damage, though? You know what? Not really. So, this is fine. Take this. Take the Book of Sanity. We'll double up on that. Elizabeth March. Now we got to figure out what to do with you. I'm thinking you're going to get the Ethereal Crucifix. Gives you bonus damage versus Eldritch, which we will fight some of. The Hellions Hairpin is really good. Bonus accuracy, lower stress. It's very tempting. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. And then for who are we? Were we gonna take Nell or Padme? I think we take. Oh, we could take Maud Flanders too. You know what? Let's take one Maud Flanders in on this one. And Maud gets nothing at all fancy here. We could go Sacred Scroll, Tome of Holy Healing. Alternatively, we could go Sacred Scroll, Junia's Head. Do I want an extra 10% stress for an extra 5% healing? You know what? I think we'll just go with the Tome of Holy Healing. That's probably good enough. Trinkets are sorted then. Let's provision. Long dungeon we got ahead of us. And spoiler alert, Pete may actually just go ahead and cut this episode into 2 parts. It depends on how long the long actually turns out to be. Shovels. Am I going to take 3 full stacks of food? Yeah, I think that's fine. 4 shovels is you know what? Let's throw... Yeah, 4 shovels. I want 1 stack of shovels. That's fine. Couple anti-venom, couple bandages, couple medicinal herbs, 1 key, of course, 1 holy water. And, 3 stacks of torches? I mean, it is a long... Yeah, this is good. That leaves us a whopping 2 slots for loot, by the way, which I'm aware is definitely suboptimal, and I'm aware I'm probably going to be flinging some of this crap I just bought on the floor. Because I love to be wasteful. It's in my nature. Don't let my conservative granola strategy fool you. Perfidious Pete loves to engage in ostentatious displays of wastefulness. I mean, sure, I'm buying the budget granola. Holy fuck, this dungeon, though. Alright, this is, not great. So we have to explore 90% of rooms. How many rooms are on this map? 2, 4, so what do we got? And then 15. So we have 19 rooms. We got to explore 90% of them, which means we can skip 2. On the plus side, we do have a pattern that takes us through the dungeon. We just go this way. That leaves us skipping these 2 rooms. If we just follow this, no backtracking, well, we would go up and... It's like we skipped that room and this room. Good enough for you, good enough for me. Let's do it. Okay. I mean, Elizabeth March immediately. Okay. I mean, the first thing she does after walking into a dungeon, this is your debut. You walk in and immediately rob us. That's kind of a dick move, Elizabeth. I thought you were supposed to be all good and kind and wholesome. And then this is what you pull this shit? Was really hoping for a little bit more damage on that howler, I'm not gonna lie. That's okay, though, because we got a pretty strong chance that our boy Jack here cleans up the slop in front. Go ahead and get a... You did 4 damage? Well, it's a good thing Jack Dawson is amazing at his job. That's all I'm gonna say, Elizabeth March. That was a pretty unimpressive first... I'm getting Shania Twain over here, Dawson. You know what? You don't impress me much. So far, you've been in the dungeon, you've done 10 damage, and admittedly, you did put fatal damage on that guy with the bleed. But still, you stole from us, and then you come out with some weak tea service like that? I don't know if I can abide this or not. You have 14 stress. Let's get rid of that with a jaunty tune. Dawson, I guess we'll just have you wail on some corpses because we might as well push this guy to the front. It doesn't really matter what position he's in. He's equally dead either way. The nice critical for a little bonus stress healing on our bro. You can drop dead. Prestigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpest blade. Do I want crests? More than I want holy water. Alright. We'll buff up the resistances on our Vestal. We do want to put our party back in order. Theoretically, the smart move here would have been to get rid of that debuff. We could have used a medicinal herb to kill the debuff, but even with minus 40% damage, I was going to say we still have a chance to pull a kill on that guy, but then we didn't do it. So we're taking a Doomsay. Stress attacks, not as big of a problem as they would ordinarily be because, okay, the disease really, what disease was that? Hold on. No, what disease did you get though, Jack? Maud Flanders getting hooked where it hurts, which I'm assuming has to be some manner of in the genitals. You got the fits. Bonus speed, minus accuracy. The -5 crit really sucks, though. Alright. No more of that shit. I'm not taking any more bullshit diseases from a weak-ass pig man. Maud Flanders taking a ball and chain to the face. Resist both the move and the stun. There's the minus accuracy. It worked for Dawson. Well played. Would have loved to have gotten some damage on the Doomsayer. Instead, we got absolutely no damage on the Doomsayer. That's terrible. Comes the accusation. A little direct stress damage. You know what? Jack Dawson can handle stress. We'll just have him withstand. That gives him a little bonus protection. He can handle his own stress as well. Here comes the hook where it hurts. He's going to do very minimal damage because of the withstand. This also helps us reposition our party better. We'll sing him a jaunty tune as well. Now he can get back to work of making with the murder. Comes the old ball and chain. People love whacking Maud Flanders in the face with a ball and chain. Elizabeth March, why are you hitting for such pathetic damage? I mean, I know we gave you an Eldritch, which only gives us bonus damage against Eldritch. These are all humans and beasts. Right, we probably should have brought the Eldritch Crucifix, because it's exclusively humans and beasts down here. For some reason, I always am convinced that the Warrens has Eldritch in it, and it definitely doesn't. I'll solo. It's fine. Give these guys a little accuracy penalty to match the one that they gave us. It's late in the round. Okay. Oh, you can... Oh, beautiful. Turns out soloing may not have been the best bit, but the buff is useful. We can get a little extra damage. Butcher's Cut. This is a bad fight for us. This team doesn't really have the ability to deal damage in every slot. There are a lot of slots where they're gonna be drawing a blank here. Okay, you know what? Go ahead and solo the Doomsayer. That would have killed him in one deft blow had we thrown that at the start of the fight, but we didn't really have that option. Hook where it hurts. How come every time we come into the Warrens, Maud Flanders does nothing but get hooked where it hurts? It's like these people, these pig men, it's as though they really, really have some kind of bitter enmity towards vaginas. All they ever do is find a girl and hook her where it hurts. You know, pig men, I don't mean to offer advice, but there are much more rewarding interactions one can have with that particular piece of anatomy. Nick Bradshaw's gonna great balls of fire away his own stress a little bit. Alright, 7 damage and resisting the bleed. We'll hook where it hurts. I'm telling you, these guys in Maud Flanders, they just won't leave her junk alone. I really don't want you to kill that man, so why don't you go ahead and self-heal here? Pete, why didn't you kill him? I really wanted to give Maud Flanders a chance to pull a self-heal. I don't like the thought of starting a new fight with her that badly wounded. Also, she could use a little stress relief as well after the critical, and there was almost no chance Bradshaw didn't beat that guy on a speed roll. Then we just have Jack Dawson lop his face off. Hellion Pendant, I mean, it's not terrible. Take whatever we can. I don't care about Protective Padlock. I don't even have an Abomination on my roster, which some of you are saying, exactly, Pete, you should definitely have an Abomination. You know what? No, I disagree. I think Abominations are bad. Or rather, it's not necessarily that Abominations are bad. It's that they don't do anything that some other class doesn't also do better, if that makes sense. And we want to definitely restore party order here. It's just that I feel like everything that an Abomination brings to the table, some other class does a little bit better than the Abomination. And right now, the Abomination apologists are like, yeah, but Abominations are a jack of all trades. They can do a little bit of everything. But I think you'll find, if you play enough Darkest Dungeon, a class that can do a little bit of everything is always going to be worse than a class that does one thing really well in the appropriate combination. And I'd have less of a problem with the abomination if it weren't for the whole the religious folks won't go on missions with him. That really is a pretty significant deal breaker. We could pick up a little extra food here if we wanted to trade one of our medicinal herbs, but you know what? Whatever's in that cart, I'm saying no. That cart is like an Arby's dumpster there. Sure, we could go diving in that and probably find something that's edible, and it probably wouldn't kill us in the long run, but it's also definitely not going to be a taste sensation. It's not like we're going to find the next cronut in there. We'll just we'll let that go. If hipsters want a donut that's also a croissant, they're going to have to come up with another way to do it. Maud Flanders is now terrified of people. Yep, bonus stresses versus human. That's actually fucking terrible. That's the kind of quirk that is terrible enough to possibly warrant quirk removal. Although, do we fight any human opponents in the Darkest Dungeon? Do we even really need Maud Flanders to go into the Darkest Dungeon is actually a better question. I'm not really sure we will need Maud in the Darkest Dungeon, per se. I really only have plans for one more fight with a Vestal. There comes the hook where it hurts. Hey, you know what? It's nice to see this swine gore being a little more egalitarian and not exclusively whacking ladies in the vagina with his attack. He's spreading the love, as it were, a little bit. Okay, here comes a butcher's cut back at us. Nice whiff, by the way, Elizabeth March. You're really giving me the Shania Twain business here, and that I am very much not much impressed by what you have brought to the dungeon thus far. Jack Dawson saving us from a potential butcher's cut. And in return, okay, this guy is exclusively into Jack Dawson's junk. He's just like, I'm gonna rack ya. Hook you where it hurts, right in the old testicular area with this giant bladed, I don't even know what to call it. It looks like a hay hook. You take a hay hook to the nutsack, you know what? That's gonna make an impression. You're gonna remember the fact that you took a hay hook to the nutsack for the rest of your life, and probably, you know, you'll never have children either, so it's gonna haunt you to the end of your days. That's reproductively destructive. Another doomsay. Alright, this guy's really getting awfully slap happy here with the AoE stress attacks, and I don't like it. Let's bump him up one rank where maybe Elizabeth March can actually get a shot at him. Another kick to the dick for old Jack Dawson. I'm beginning to think maybe we got to start a hashtag here, like leave Jack's junk alone. Hashtag spare the junk. Give me 7 down. Pete, why didn't you hit the Doomsayer? You know, I don't really have a good reason for why I didn't hit the Doomsayer other than I'm kind of dumb. Probably should have hit the Doomsayer. I could have saved us this stress. That's okay. We're going to camp after this anyway. Oh, man. All right, Jack Dawson's taking a lot of stress. He is going to get the kill and mop up the corpse. Pushing this guy to the front rank. Is that... I mean, technically he does have fatal damage, but I don't think I want to let him linger, because if he whacks us with a critical, that's going to do some really not nice stuff to our overall party composition. I don't necessarily care for that. We're just going to cure that bleed. It also has the added benefit of giving us a little bit of bonus damage, which we don't necessarily need. We're going to grind down Bradshaw's stress a little bit, and I'm trusting somebody here to win a speed roll. One of you. Thank you, Jack. Maybe stress relief for the kill, though? Oh, all right.
Trifling victory. But a victory.
Yeah, I call all my victories trifling. You're always... Why you always on my jock, Wayne June? Can't you just for once celebrate the fact that we succeeded at something that we tried? Just one time? Can't you give me a little credit, Wayne June? Why you always gotta be such a naysayer? This Wayne June guy, man, he really needs to take a class in optimism. Once again, food we can't carry is of no use to us. See, Wayne June, that's an optimistic outlook there. I'm deliberately avoiding a thing I know I don't need. So little munchers, which we could definitely kill one of. This guy, though, this corpse eater, a lot of... You know what? No, let's take out a little bit. Let's take the kill while we've got the surprise and trust our front rank fighters to actually do their job for once. That's a pretty healthy start. We're unlikely... Actually, can we get 12 damage out of this? With max damage, we... You know what? Yeah. With max damage... Well, alright. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And in this case, I'm really not convinced that even though we took that venture and came up short that we're really going to lose much. We almost have this guy dead. One of our Seekers will beat that dude on a speed roll. Jack Dawson is, in fact, that Seeker. And that just leaves this little crunch and munch back here. Okay, taking shots. You can hit me for 3 damage. That's fine. I don't really care. Let's take this opportunity then to do a little bit of AoE stress relief. Get a little bit of relaxation for our trouble. Little R&R. A little me time down in the dungeon. Sometimes you just gotta take a moment for yourself, you know? Push that forward by killing a corpse. Corpse clearing is actually a bit of a problem for... I wanted to kill the guy. Alright, well, here, just withstand. You are marked. That also gives you a little bit of stress relief, which I suppose we need. And, hey, it's going to give us damage reduction against that. So that 4 is not really going to amount to much. We resisted the blight, which is fantastic. Get the most remaining stress. 34, 38. Well, it doesn't do us any good if our Jester goes insane. We're not going to get any more stress relief out of Nick Bradshaw. If he starts singing songs that are the pure sound of madness, what if he starts breaking out System of a Down tunes? I mean, I don't want to listen to that under any circumstances ever. If he gets afflicted, you know he's going to start singing Toxicity. I don't want to hear... no. Just no, Jack. That's it. No, it's That's the sound of madness and chaos. It's the sound of animals being slaughtered and children weeping because their parents are dead. And they watched it happen. That's the sound of...
This is how a life is taken.
Yep, that's the sound of System of a Down. Well, okay. Let's burn 1 torch and drop 1 torch. I'm going to take the crests over the cache. And also, I know it sounds a little crazy, but we got a lot of dungeon left to go here. I think I'm actually going to put a cut in on this one. Little bit long. We do have to explore 90% of rooms, so we're basically looking at the rest of this dungeon. But I got to... Pete, you checked out of this one because you had to go silence your granola alarm, and now you're bailing out mid-episode. I am, but I'm still coming over the whole throat thing, the strep throat. It's almost gone, but... Throat's getting a little raw, and I'm at the tail end of a recording session here. I don't want to push it so much that it breaks, man. Sometimes you can only bend metal so far before it breaks, and my throat sort of works in the same way. You can bend it, but it's going to lose its elasticity and go over the edge. You just want to let it bend to the end of its elastic point and then let it snap back. I need a little R&R for the throat there to let it snap back, so I'm going to do that. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see us mop up the rest of this large dungeon and get these Seekers, ideally unscathed through the rest of the mission, and so far so good, but we are in the Warrens, anything can happen. I'm going to see whether or not they can walk out unscathed. You might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes of Darkest Dungeon every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to go eat some delicious, big chewy Quaker Oats brand chocolate and peanut butter granola bars. Try some for yourself. You'll be glad you did. I'll see you again soon.